optimization program. The sooner we get out there and log that data, the happier Chris and the rest of the team will be.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top three.
Guess who made the gossip columns this morning? Everyone's talking about this new rival you have. Check his stats out.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. Watching some of the cars attack the high-speed corners, it occurred to me that this might be one of the more awkward tracks to prepare a car for. Do you go for top speed over grip, or do you look to maximise performance in all the corners?
Drivers are going to need a nicely balanced car to be fast here. They'll need to get the most out of the medium and high-speed corners, which will push them to run more downforce. But in turn, this slows the car down on the straights. It's a tricky balancing act.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. Hamilton, Rosberg and Max Verstappen. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself... The atmosphere is heavy with expectation and anticipation, and bearing the weight of that burden today is a place we know very well indeed. It's Albert Park. The story of the season begins here then with the Australian Grand Prix, and it's time for the first chapter to be written. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, a former F1 competitor, a man who was world champion once upon a time as well, and an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, the first time racing these cars. So what are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction. I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, obviously there's the question of performance in race trim, but really this is going to be all about reliability. It's the first Grand Prix of the season, don't forget. You're pushing all your new components to their limits. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology. So the most important thing today is to get to the end of the race, keep everything in good condition and try to stay out of trouble while you're at it.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Nico Rosberg completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo and Button, Alonso, Massa, Bottas and Sergio Perez. A Ferrari, Sainz, Romain Grosjean and Kvyat, Hülkenberg, Gutierrez, Pascal Wehrlein and Jolyon Palmer, Nasser and Magnussen. Rio Haryanto and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.